Bears are right. Make no mistake about it. They are absolutely right. There's going to be a time when they're going to be vindicated. All the hate that is thrown in their direction, they're just going to be proven right. And there's actually signs that are just blatantly obvious all over the place, showing that we are on a house of cards and that house of cards is going to collapse and it's going to be epic and it's going to be painful and all of that. But there's one thing that I've learned in years of being involved in the markets before Bitcoin even existed. I was here. And I remember, even before I invested in the market, I remember the dot-com euphoria of the 90s. I remember the market going up when it should not have gone up. And the thing that I would say to the bears in this particular moment is that what is ahead could very well be an irrational pump, a pump that you have all the data and it doesn't make sense for us to continue going higher. And yet that may be exactly what's happening. So in this video, let me just lay this out real quick. I just want you to know what keeps me up at night looking at the bond market. The bond market is imploding in Japan, in the United States. They're trying as hard as they can to keep interest rates down, to push them down, but there's no appetite. There's no demand for the products that they are offering. And so what happens is that the bonds go up and rates go higher, and it will settle in a place where people are actually interested in parking their worth. And we're not there yet. And there's two ways out of this. One is to print insane amounts of money. And when I say insane, I'm talking 14 digits, which if you're doing the math in your head, that's at least $10 trillion that the United States, would they have the audacity to print at that level? That's hard for me to believe. The other option is that they just let things crash all around them, and then they print lots and lots of money to try to rescue us. And well, what happens after that? I don't know. But my outlook at some point is a lot of pain for a period of time in the future that I think will be an opportunity to take advantage of. But what about now? Okay, what about right now? Because I'm looking at fractals. I look at fractals all over the place, and we're trying to compare this. Are we trying to compare this to 2008? You know, the early signs of the stock market collapse, a bear market. The stock market got up to certain moving averages, got rejected there, and then went right back down. Are we comparing it to that, or are we comparing this to 2022, where there was a bear market for a few months and then we bounced back? Or are we comparing it to 2018, where there was a V-shaped recovery, or 1998, which, if you look at the stock market in 1998, there was a moment where it felt like it was over, that we were done. But then what happened? We ended up having a V-shaped recovery, and then we had this big rally to a blow-off top, and then the bears were proven right in a big way because the dot-com bust was incredible. I mean, the NASDAQ went down 80%. So lots of signs on the horizon, not just with the bond market, but with lots of things. I mean, if you price things in gold, you can see we're already in a bear market, and the peak was 2021 for most indices and most stocks. But what about right now? Well, listen, there are also things that I'm paying attention to that just, it doesn't quite make sense in terms of consumer confidence, in terms of general sentiment right now, that we're paying attention to news articles a little too much. We're paying attention to CNN and MSNBC, and the masses are more scared than they should be, even though I've mentioned everything that I've just mentioned about something significant coming in the medium term. At least the masses, when are they ever right? And right now, for example, like consumer sentiment is lower than what it was during the COVID crash. It's lower than what it was during the great financial crisis, in the pits of despair, not with the stock market near an all-time high, which is where it is right now, not with Bitcoin having already broken its all-time high. It seems like we're overreacting to things that we should not be overreacting to. And the things that we should be scared about, it's not on anyone's radar, really. So the things that we should not be overreacting to, we're overreacting to right now. And consumers are scared. The general public is scared, but they're scared about the wrong things. Nobody pays attention to the bond market. And so it's difficult for me looking at where we are with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ right now, above every key retrace, above the 200-day moving average. It's an interesting time. We could go in either direction right now, but we hit a new all-time high. I mean, we're off to the races, honestly. And it's hard for me to believe that everybody's right, given the level of fear being exacerbated from where it should be right now. And I give a lot of credit to that, to the fact that Donald Trump is president of the United States, and that certain powers that be or certain media companies, they tend to thrive off of injecting fear when Donald Trump is president of the United States. And now, whatever, that's not a commentary on whether I like or dislike the tariffs. It is commentary on the fact that some people have an incentive for you to be scared right now. So where do we go from here when everyone thinks we're going down? Not everyone, but a lot of people, too many people believe we're going down short term. I would tend to think that exactly the opposite is in the cards, potentially, and that what comes next is this irrational final move. Is a final move that some would describe in the stock market as euphoria. If it's similar to 1999, it was a blow off top. And what does that mean for crypto? That means maybe, a run with altcoins. And then Bitcoin just kind of being its thing of, my goodness, I mean, the spot Bitcoin ETFs have bought much more Bitcoin than I initially thought. And the projections for 2026 and 2027 are actually higher than what they were in 2025 and 2024. But Bitcoin wouldn't be immune to this reckoning, but it would be an incredible dip buying opportunity. I think even there's a possibility that Bitcoin could serve as some sort of a safe haven as people are fleeing from the market during that inevitable crash, but they don't want to flee to dollars because they know there's something fundamentally different about the dollar. But all that to say, the reason why I'm making this video is to just point out, I know at this exact moment, a lot of people, they're looking at the crypto market and they're scared. And a lot of people are turning bearish, they're flipping bearish, and the bears are running victory laps right now. And I just want to remind the bears, which I will be one very soon. I've been one and I will be one again. That I want to remind you of the potential of the market to be irrational. And right now, in this moment, given the higher than what it should be level of fear, it actually makes sense for the market to be irrational.